I'm Amanda Boardman and I'm the Service Manager of the West London Family Court PSU, Personal Support Unit.
My name is Ryan Gallagher and I am an OU student studying a Bachelor of Laws degree. I was still in level 1 when they started W360, and when I first read about it I was really excited, the fact that you could do pro bono clinical legal education, because I thought, well, it absolutely makes sense. You study the theory of law, but to do something that's practically related is very powerful. You see our court system, you're helping real people, real clients. If you wanted to be a lawyer and you were doing a law degree and you didn't want to do pro bono, then you'd have to wonder where you're going to get the experience to develop your soft skills, your skills of dealing with people, as well as your practical knowledge of the legal system, because you'd be missing out.
The Personal Support Unit helps litigants in person through the family court process. So what we do is we can go to hearings, we can help with statements. We can't give legal advice, but the two heads are better than one principle. We can sit with them and help them sort out their thoughts.
There is no typical day at PSU, and you will get days in which we have lots of people come in who need help, and as a volunteer you might be assisting someone with an application form because they want to ask the court for something specific, like an order to do with a child contact case, or it might be that somebody is already involved in the court system and they bring to you an order from a judge and they don't understand what it means. And what we can do is explain what the judge is asking them to do.
Often clients, by the time they've arrived at the Personal Support Unit, they've tried to get legal advice. They haven't been able to find legal advice. They're faced with a court date. They're very scared. The whole court process is very intimidating, especially family court.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, thanks for helping out.
So where we can help is we can sit down with the client, we can listen to their story and then say, right, what are the facts in dispute? What is your position? And what we can do is on the computer we can help them type up a statement that in numbered paragraphs that identifies what are the points in dispute. That assists the judge, that saves the judge time, because sometimes if a client goes into court and they haven't done that, it means there has to be a delay for another hearing, and that adds a burden to the court system. It adds a burden of emotional distress to the client, and so what we do is that we are a great benefit to clients emotionally and also to the court system in general.
Yeah, so then that's where with the help with fees, you'd get it.
You could do the online.
Often what we find is that parties can't come to an agreement, mediation hasn't worked. So the issues that come through the door are things like contact, they can't see their children, maybe one partner is stopping them seeing the other, so they have to apply for contact. We have something called specific issues or prohibited steps, so it's stopping a parent from doing something. For example, maybe taking them to another country, or a specific issue could be something like retaining a passport.
This is a family court, so you're going to see and read and hear upsetting allegations, and you are supporting clients who are making those allegations or have been accused of those allegations. And so that is quite an emotional burden. And it's always difficult, especially when you start as a volunteer, to find out how to approach that. Even when you feel you haven't done anything for them, the fact that you've sat next to them in a hearing means the world to them. And that can turn a tough day into a good day.
When students are coming in doing pro bono work, it helps them to put what they've done theoretically in practice. It helps them to see people at their most vulnerable. The student is learning to look at the system and know what to do in the system. They're seeing people who are in the system and have no idea how the system works.
Is this bit on mediation?
I think it is very enriching as a law student to do PSU, because you deal with people going through real cases who are in various states of emotional distress, and you can turn them around so that they can go through our court system knowing what they want, knowing what they can ask for, being able to put forward their position in a way that the court system is willing to accept.
OU students make fantastic volunteers. They've got a lot of positive attributes to bring to the table. They are very mature. They're used to leading busy lives. It's that life experience that they bring, and obviously if you're dealing with very vulnerable and upset clients, that really helps. The students come in, they get inducted. We put them through a process of shadowing. They're asked to do 20 days a year with us and commit for a year. They'll go into court, they'll help with the statements, they'll talk through the court process and just explain timelines, timeframes and what to expect in a court. Family court is a closed area. Usually people can't sit in court and watch a family case. So for an OU student, it will be attractive to them because they'll get to see the process from the start of the application all the way through the court process, all the way through to the final hearing.
By seeing how lawyers conduct themselves in the courtroom, how judges can conduct themselves in the courtroom, it makes you think about professionalism so that you can picture yourself in that legal profession if that's something that you want to do. Those kinds of things, I mean, you can read about, but to be there live witnessing it is invaluable, and you really see the law coming to life.
I have experienced how difficult some people's lives are, how they have to struggle, and how a very small amount I can give and all volunteers can give and can make an enormous difference.
The good side to being a volunteer is where you are very sure you've helped somebody, that they've left the PSU office in a better position than when they arrived.
It's very challenging, it's very interesting. I love it because you have to think on your feet, and no 2 days are ever the same.
Studying a law degree with Open University is one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I would very much recommend pro bono work to OU law students.